Aloha and welcome everyone to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where we talk story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and their staff to find out how they're working to support the needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, you've just got to check out Pacific Source's cabinet and appliance showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific and President of the Maui Nonprofit Directors Association. And it's my pleasure today to introduce our co-host, Dean Wong of Imua Family Services. Hi, Dean.
Hi, how are you doing today? Aloha.
I'm doing good. How's everybody out there doing? I hope they're doing as well as we are.
Yeah, well, I can't speak for everybody, but I hope they are too. So each week during this hour, we share the experiences of how our nonprofit agencies are working to benefit our island home with stories of how these agencies are changing lives. And they are changing lives, they're changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those in need. And today we have Diane Alba Means. She is the Marketing and Community Relations Director at Rosalani Place. Welcome, Diane.
Aloha. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We were talking before the show came on about the one thing that, every time when I do some show prep for this show, I go through websites and I go through whatever I've got in my file on the place. And the one thing that jumped out at me is the respite care, the short-term care that you've got at Rosalani. Can you give us a little information on that?
Great. I'm glad you said short-term care after respite care, Susie, because everyone always goes, what's respite care? They don't, people aren't familiar with that just out in the general public. But respite short-term care at Rosalani means it's usually a minimum of 5 days to 30 days, but it means if you're a caregiver caring for mom or dad at home and you need to go off island, if you need a break, if you're going on vacation, they can come, we call it the Rosalani Resort. They can come and check in with us, and you can go have your vacation, and they can vacation with us and have all the activities and meals in the dining room and socialization and be doing something and not just home alone, and so you won't be worried while you're gone.
So it could be a senior staycation.
Yes, exactly.
There you go.
You staycation here, I'm going away.
The little bit difference is, other than going to a hotel, is because we are a licensed assisted living community, we are a medical facility, so there is still criteria, just like our full-time residents, that people would need to do. They would need to have an assessment done by our nurse. They need to have a current TB test, and then there would be admission papers to be filled out by their doctors to do either respite or full-time care.
Yeah, people really underestimate what respite is, but if you are involved in caregiving for anyone that needs assistance, it's 24/7. It doesn't stop. You just don't walk away or leave someone with a babysitter. It takes so much of your time and energy, and that is draining, and people need time to recoup their own relationships, their own families, and be with their own children. And so that kind of opportunity for people to have that respite is very invaluable.
Right, and I also want to let our folks know that are listening today that we can do many different levels of care with our respite program. Besides just being a little bit more independent, they just don't want to be left home alone while you're gone. We do have enhanced assisted care, which is a little bit higher ratio to our staff, to our residents. They have more oversight. They have their own dining room and their own activity schedule, and we also can do respite for our Alzheimer's wing. And again, those people would have their own dining room and oversight and their own living room and their activities. So everything is geared to the level that they're at.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. I mean, so it's not just a place, you're just, there you are.
Right. And left in your room.
Right.
No, not at all.
It's geared towards what you need and what's available for you.
Right. And it's also just based on a daily rate. There's different levels. So it runs from $185 a day to up to $255 a day.
Well, that's not bad at all.
No. It's really good.
Vacation's a heck of a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Can I come over and just stay there for a week?
We'll have to be sure you're over 55, Susie, and then to qualify for that. So
Okay, that's a little bit young, that line, that 55. Can you raise that up? I feel like we're inching too close to that. Thank you. Isn't 50 the new 30? What's going on?
yeah, something like that.
That's what I thought, yeah.
That
So
would-
55.
55 is our minimum age.
Wow.
Wow,
But we have 3 people in our facility that are over 100.
Do you really?
Yes, we do.
That's beautiful.
How far over?
One's 102 and a half, one's 101, and one's 100 and a half. So.
Any amount
my
over
gosh.
100
Yes,
is
it's-
big.
yes.
Well, that's true, but I did something about that half year over the
Yeah,
100.
yeah.
That's just, I made it.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question, Diane?
Sure.
And this is sort of a cultural question. I think that senior living homes, centers, assisted living is kind of relatively new to Hawaii's culture. I know I'm not so old, but I know that growing up with my father, who was Chinese, that would have been out of the question for him, and he would not have allowed such a thing. And I did end up caring for him in his latter years, his senior years. But are you finding that people are changing their mindset about this now, and culturally that people are seeing that it is acceptable, that it is available to them, and are the seniors finding it acceptable as well?
I think for the most part, on occasion we'll get a family member, and particularly it seems to be men that, like your father, they'll bring them in, they'll set everything up, and then they just, there's no way, they won't turn up, they don't want to come to the assessment. They'll just like, I'm not getting out of the car. But that's very rare, and generally, once they get in there to our building and meet the staff, and everyone is so friendly and treats them just like a Ohana, an extended family, they get a lot of attention, and they usually like that.
Right.
Try it, you'll like it.
Try it, you'll like it. Yeah, and we have quite a broad range of cultures these days. We've been open a little over 10 years, and I'll say, when we first opened, it was really more just definitely local folks, but over the years, it's really been expanding. We have people from all over, even all different parts of the United States that now live with us full time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think so many people have moved here in their retirement, or they move here because their kids have moved here.
Right.
And so the family's getting established here now, and then next thing they know, they're at that age where they need attention, and the kids that they came here for are busy working 3-4 jobs, whatever the case might be.
Right.
And so they kind of check themselves in as a way to ease the strain on the family.
Or again, oftentimes we get calls maybe and someone has become widowed, so and they're lonely, and they're not too safe. They maybe have had a couple of falls, and so families are concerned. But they are working. The families are working, and they just really can't. Or they have businesses here, and they can't close up their business to go back to the mainland to take care of mom or dad. So they're bringing them over here. So we've been having more of that this past couple of years.
Oh, have you?
Well. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know there for a while there was quite a few people that they said we've got to close up. They tried to sell their business, but their business was them.
Right.
And it's a personal skill that they were marketing.
Right.
And so they'd close it down and go back to take care of the folks, and then said they would come back, but that usually doesn't happen.
Right. You also mentioned earlier that there is seen increase in things like dementia and Alzheimer's, and so that has probably played a big part of how your services are functioning.
Because when we first opened, we didn't actually have a specific wing for Alzheimer's, but I know it's been open for 7 years now, and it's pretty much full most of the time. We were having a wait list for a couple of years, and again, it's a secured area. So what happens a lot of times with Alzheimer's and dementia, they develop this sundowning where in the evening they start wandering, and we don't want them to wander out the door. So it is a secured spot. But because we had so many of our residents living with us for such a long time, and they were declining, they needed a place to go. They didn't necessarily need memory care, but they needed more supervision. So a year ago, we opened this Malahia Terrace, which is enhanced assisted care. So it's a higher, again, ratio to staff. They get more one-on-one, and they have their own level of care, so they don't necessarily need to be in a secured area, but they do have more oversight and help with bathing and dressing, reminders for meals, giving medications, all those things that our staff can do.
Do you have some people who've been with you the full 10 years?
We do have
do?
people. Yes.
Yeah,
we do.
Wow.
And a lot of them like 8 and 9 years.
Yeah. Wow. Now you've got a 4-story building?
We have a 4-story building.
And there's different things on different levels, I take it?
The third and fourth floor are more independent residents. They can still have some assistance. They don't necessarily need to be totally independent. But then the second floor is an enhanced assisted, and then the first floor is the Alzheimer's or memory care wing, which we call Aloha Gardens. And they have an enclosed garden area. They can take them out to go out there too. And every week they take all the different levels out on scenic drives, so they're not always in the building. They do get them out for fresh air, walks, those kinds of things.
Well, that's great. It sounds better and better every time I hear it.
People are so surprised. We're kind of not too exciting. You drive by this 4-story beige building. It's kind of a boxy shape with a blue roof, but it's got a lot more personality when you come inside. So if you haven't been by for a tour, please let me know. I'd be happy to show you around.
Right.
I still remember when they were building that as well too, and that time when Kihei was really sort of booming and lots of building was going on. I just remember thinking, wow, we need that here on Maui, but of course we do.
And then, of course, we were in Kahului.
You're in Kahului. What was I just thinking of? 4-story building.
That other place.
That other place.
The other one that's a retirement community.
The
which
That's
is
why I
a
was
beautiful
thinking-
retirement
Yeah.
community.
Right.
Yes, but we're just over here on Papa Avenue.
Oh, yes, I know
Right.
that.
Now, are you the only facility of your kind?
Yes, I believe we're the actually
With
only
the
licensed with the assisted living at this time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just I keep saying, it sounds so good, but I don't want to give up everything. But you don't have to, right?
You don't have to. Now, have you ever been on a cruise ship, Susie?
Oh yeah.
Well, I kind of compare living in a community like this to being on a cruise ship because you have 3 wonderful meals in the dining room. You have entertainment. We have exercise program. We have excursions. All your utilities are included. You have a hair salon.
Wow.
All those things. The thing about Rosalani Place is you don't get seasick and you don't have to tip.
Very good.
Yeah.
And you can take that excursion on land anytime you want.
Anytime you want. And you actually, from the upper floors, you can see the cruise ship in the harbor.
That's a good
That's a
description.
very good analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
So we have different sizes of apartments. So we have everything from a shared unit where they actually, it's still like a 2-bedroom and they have their own private space, share a bathroom. And then we have our larger unit being a 1-bedroom with a den. And of course, we can accommodate couples as well.
How many people are in the community currently?
We have, I think, 86 residents right now. And we have room for, if we have like couples in all the apartments, we have room for about 110 to 115.
Wow.
Cool.
Gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah, and they've got this great idea to come over to take a tour of the place.
Mm-hmm.
You get lunch. You get to sample the food.
Right.
And of course the picture looks absolutely yummy.
We have really good meals. We do have really good food at Rosalani Place, so.
And that's very important.
It is important, especially to the residents, because that's like their most important activity of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's my most important activity of the day, too.
When the doors open, everybody's ready.
Yeah. But now, can they cook in their rooms?
They have microwaves,
Okay.
and I don't really allow them to have hot plates or toaster ovens
Right.
that don't
Yeah.
have automatic shutoffs.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, even I know that at home, leaving a teapot on the stove too long. So,
Right.
yeah, those kinds of things.
Ah.
But and then they have a snack in the afternoon as well. So they're pretty well fed.
They're taken care of,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're taken care of.
Absolutely.
Do they have a refrigerator in there?
There's a
unit?
refrigerator with a small freezer and
Okay.
a microwave and a sink. So it's like
Okay.
a small kitchenette in all of the apartments.
Yeah,
It sounds like we do need to go take a tour.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
And
should take all the nonprofit directors over there for a tour someday.
You know,
Yeah.
I would love to
Have a
show them
meeting
all
there.
around. That would be great. And we do have a space that is available for different community groups to come
Ah.
in to have a meeting once in a while.
Oh,
So,
really? That's
yeah, we
good
just
to
have
know.
to coordinate it around bingo.
Sure.
But other than that, we're good.
Nice.
Bingo's good.
Bingo's good.
Just watching that on NCIS last night. Bingo. It's the first time I've seen that, thought about that in a long time. We're doing the 4 corners, she said.
That's funny.
Remember that? Oh, boy. Anyway, so you've got a big event coming up Saturday.
We do have a big event because of everyone's attention these days on, am I really getting memory loss? Am I, is it normal aging, Alzheimer's and dementia? We have Elaine Slavinsky is going to come do a presentation. So from 11:30 to 2 on Saturday at our facility at 88 South Papa Avenue in Kahului. It's going to be open house. I'll have all the models open, so you don't have to feel like you need to call me personally for a tour. If you just like a way to come, you're just curious, want to come by, you'll be able to do that. Elaine's going to actually start speaking at noon, and we're including a light lunch with that, and it's open to the public, and it's a free event.
Wow.
Now, if someone needed to attend that, they might have just forgotten what you just said. So how could they find the information again?
Well, they could call me at Rosalani Place at 871-7720, 871-7720, or they can, I don't know if it's on our newsletter on the website, which is rosalaniplace.com. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a short break and see if everybody remembers over the break.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And welcome back. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes. Today we're talking story with Diane Alba Means, who is the marketing and community relations person for Rosalani Place. And just before the break, we started talking about the event that they've got coming up Saturday with Elaine Slavinsky talking about Alzheimer's. And Elaine was with Alzheimer's for a while, and now she's with the county
Right.
Office of Aging, right?
Right. She's a health coach for the Maui Care transitions to the Maui County Office on Aging.
Right. Okay. And we were talking with I think Lindsay, who took her place at Alzheimer's a couple weeks ago on the show, and we were talking about everybody has dementia, or not everybody. I shouldn't say it that way, but people have dementia, and some people have Alzheimer's, which is a part of, or a part of dementia, or an offshoot of it, or not an enhancement because it's worse. But not everybody who has Alzheimer's. No, everybody who has Alzheimer's has dementia, but not everybody who has dementia has Alzheimer's.
That's correct.
I got it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've read that through
Yeah.
the Alzheimer's Association
Yeah.
as well.
And that's why so many people just do not want to admit that somebody in their family has Alzheimer's. They talk about dementia till they're blue in the face, because that's, at some point the general feeling is everybody's going to get it, in their later years. But Alzheimer's is a whole nother story, and they don't want people to have Alzheimer's. Is it genetic? I guess we got to go listen to Elaine tell us about
Come
it.
find out. Yeah, Elaine will have a wealth of knowledge about that, and probably rest people's minds too to know that maybe what they think might be dementia really is just getting older, and we have some normal everyday forgetfulness, and then unless you're finding your keys in the freezer and your purse in the
Right.
stove, it probably is more just some short-term
Right.
memory with dementia and not Alzheimer's. But
Well, on that
Those are symptoms I've been having for years. Yeah.
your
on that-
purse is in the stove. Geez.
Looking for sunglasses that are on my head, that
Yeah.
sort of
Oh,
thing.
that's okay. On that same show, we had Robert Colasano, who was with mental health, and so that was really an interesting show, having those two playing off of each other with these issues. And I think the bottom line came down to the fact: yes, we all misplace things, we all forget from time to time, but the difference is, can you retrace your steps and find them? If
Yeah.
you can do that, you're okay. Kind of.
You got me worried.
Oh, I'm not helping him at all, am I?
No.
And I do that even at work. I'll start walking, because my office
Mm-hmm.
is off the lobby. I'll start walking over to the other administrative offices and go, now what was I going there for?
Yeah.
So I actually have to go back, but I do remember and
That's it.
And
carry
that's the
on.
difference.
And
And
carry
that's the
on. And
difference,
that's,
right.
yes.
Right. And so, and we all do. I mean, we all have
Yeah.
those moments. We call them senior moments. We call them
Parts timers.
parts timers. We
yes.
call them, what is it, brain farts? Can we say that on the radio?
I haven't heard.
Yeah,
You just
okay.
did. So
We don't have the 3-second. Okay, no beep on that one. We're still trying to figure out what we said last week that we got all those beeps. Remember that we had that sound that hit us?
well, don't remember because it'll happen again.
No. We passed that point.
Okay.
But it's those kind. I mean, we all have those, and there's times when you're telling a story and you forget somebody's name that you
Right.
want to use in the
Right.
story, and then the next day all of a sudden it hits you. Well, I know Brian as well as anybody. Hello, why couldn't I think of it at the time?
Well, I think too, this is just my own opinion, we're so inundated with all the images with all of our electronics, from our phone to our TVs and everything else. We have just all this information coming at us all the time. Just a lot of stuff to process.
Right.
So sometimes it might take a little bit longer, like your computer's a little sluggish that day for it to come up,
Right.
So
My filing system in my head doesn't work quite as well as it used to.
And so there's a question for you. How is technology playing a part in, or is it playing a part in any changes to the way things are being done at Rosalani?
Well, to start with, all of our residents are issued a PIN, kind of a life alert system, which is all goes into a computer system, and of course we have security cameras and stuff, so everyone is safe and they can monitor that, and they can monitor, like, if we do have people with Alzheimer's or dementia that are more exit seeking, so they can, those kinds of things are keeping eyes on that and playing a big part of it that way.
What about the internet itself? Like, are seniors participating in?
We're having more and more seniors. We have computer classes for them a couple times a month, which is something new just this year.
Sure.
I have more and more residents moving in that use the computer, so we're hooking the internet up into their apartments. That's just been in the last couple years, because the first 4 years I was there, nobody had a computer.
Is there Wi-Fi in the facility?
We don't have Wi-Fi in
No.
our facility, but we do have internet with modems and stuff available
good.
for the residents.
Yeah, I'm sure that more and more people will be keeping in touch with their grandchildren and their families via
Right.
email, Facebook.
And actually, one of the things we're doing with some fundraising, because we are a 501c3, is that we're doing, going to be putting together kind of like an internet cafe in our activity room and
Wow.
bringing in more computers, because they can play games, which again helps stimulate
Sure.
Yeah.
the brain on those kinds of activities. So we're looking forward to doing funds with that this year. We just had our rummage sale, so we got a good start for fundraising this year on that project.
Wow. That is a major change.
Yeah,
And what
I
about
mean-
what about cell phones? A lot of
A
seniors
lot of them
come
have cell phones as well.
in? Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more than used to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do without a cell phone today?
Don't ask me. I've got a.
Well, I think it's interesting, that we're looking for cell phones that do more. And the seniors, as I'm looking at different publications and cell phones that are being marketed to seniors, those cell phones actually do less.
They're like our old phones.
Yeah.
Like our original, just a phone.
Yeah, it's
They're
a phone.
It's not
that'll keep track
a computer
of
and
the people.
a camera and
Yeah.
everything all wrapped into one.
And the numbers are bigger and
Right.
the images are bigger on there. Well, and there's no images. They're all phone numbers and
Right.
names.
Well, even my mom is 83, and now she's been using a cell phone, I'm going to say a good 5 years, and, she remembers how to, do all that stuff. She's really active yet in driving and serving their seniors at their church and stuff like that, so.
I wonder if
That's
somebody's going to create an app for seniors called Instagramma.
There you go.
Instagram. Oh, gee.
There you go, Dean.
Oh,
Sorry.
way
I had
to
to do
go,
that.
Dean. Yeah, that just came naturally.
Yeah.
I can tell that. Okay. So what else would you like to tell us about Rosalani?
Well, I'd like to just say, we have a lot of great programs for the residents. We really want to keep them safe. We have outside programs to come in to, it's called like Enhanced Fitness program, which they're doing right now. It's like an exercise program. It's a 6-week program. It's open to our residents as well as other seniors in the community. It's 3 days a week, and it's an hour program where they're working on balance through exercise and strength and aerobics to have a well-balanced self, and again to keep them mobile more longer and to keep their brain more active longer as well. So we have that. We have the school kids next door, because we're next to Alalani Methodist Church. So twice a month they come in and they'll do a program for the residents.
Oh, cool.
We have the Hawaiian Canines with the CNI dogs. They come in once a week. So we try to do a lot of interactive things with the residents to keep
People
them
can't
busy.
bring their pets in, though, can they?
Residents can have a pet
They can
if
live
they
with
can,
them?
if they can take care of it themselves.
Really?
And they have to, of course, we have to see what kind of pet
Sure.
it is. If it's a
Yeah.
Great Dane, probably not. But
But a 20-pound.
yeah, we have several dogs right now and quite a few cats.
Really?
Yes, we do.
Oh gosh, what's missing? What's missing here? One of the things on your website, again, I said I looked through websites. You had this free special report, top 10 tips for aging wisely. Join our mailing list. Just go on there, put your name and your email address in there, and you'll get that, and then you get the newsletter.
Right. And then because
Cool.
I do a monthly newsletter, I do a print version for the residents, and then it goes on our website, and then I also do an email version that goes out. And we're also on Facebook, so people
okay.
can follow us on Facebook these days.
Can you give us one of the tips for aging wisely?
Oh no, now I'm going to draw a blank.
Hey, we have a program for that.
There we go.
We have an app for that.
We have an app for that.
We have an app for that.
What's your handle
That's-
on Facebook?
that's
Is it
terrible.
Facebook.
It's Rosalani Place.
Rosalani Place.
Yeah. And the other activity that we do each month is we sponsor the Picnic for Pokey, which is under the monkey paw tree at the Cotton Mountain Church up there in Wailuku Town. And so we take 14 residents for a 2-hour outing. They get to listen to a free Hawaiian music concert joined by the community, and we take their lunch, so they have a picnic lunch.
How neat.
So it's really nice. And so we've been putting that on for a long time now,
Nice.
carrying on from Uncle Pokey. So
Something for everybody.
yeah.
That's
So it's a
great.
good lunchtime thing. If you work over at the county buildings and things like that, we have a lot of those staff that'll come out for lunch and get outside and enjoy that
Come
too.
over and enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if someone would like to have a personal tour, and I'd be happy to show them around, they could call me and we could set up a time. We could do a tour, and then I'd be happy to treat them for lunch. So anytime they can just give me a call. Again, that number was 871-7720.
Great. Dean, any more questions?
No, I'm just amazed that you could do an open lunch invitation on the radio and offer to take everyone for lunch. I think that's just great.
Isn't it?
You're going to have a lot of taker-uppers on that.
Have 'em call
You'll
me.
have lunch dates for the rest of the year.
There we go.
That's fabulous. Well, Diane, it's been great having you here.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
And have a great open house event that's starting at 10:30?
11:30.
11:30.
On Saturday.
Okay.
April
on
6th.
April 6th. Okay. And you're going to have open house.
Open house. The models will all be open,
Okay.
and they can see. They'll see 4 different styles of models of apartments, and then the lunch will be included. It's a light lunch, kind of probably a bento of some sort, and get to hear Elaine speak and find out if they have anything to worry about as they're getting older,
Right.
Right. Or
Does-
for another family member.
or for another
Yeah.
family member
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
well.
Does she have she usually has a question and answer
She
period
does,
now,
yeah.
so that you can get your personal questions answered. And
Yeah, and if someone is interested, I would appreciate them just calling us so we have an idea how many chairs to set up. But I have plenty of room. It's in our 3rd floor lobby.
okay, great. And again, that number is 871-7720.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Wonderful things you're doing over there. For the second half of our show, our co-host is going to become our guest.
Wow.
Hello.
Wearing 2 hats today.
You'd love that.
Do I
You
get to
know
ask
that.
myself questions?
If there's anything I don't ask, go ahead.
Okay.
I actually don't have to ask it in the form of a question.
All right. Why don't you start?
So, thank you. It's I'm assuming that you're here because you've got the Fantasia Ball coming up.
We do have the Fantasia Ball coming up, which is a week this Saturday on April 13th. It's an important date, April 13th, because it's the day before the Week of the Young Child, which is a national recognized week that really recognizes early childhood needs, interventions, education, sort of all the gambit of things that are important for early childhood, and it has that sort of national recognition to it. So we do our event to sort of kick off that recognition week for the Week of the Young Child. And the month of April is actually Autism Awareness Month. And that's also very important to us. Of course, it has a huge impact on the numbers of children that we see in the birth through age 5 or 6 at Imua Family Services. And so we are paying, close attention to autism awareness as well this month. So we specifically, strategically plan Imua's Big Gala fundraiser within this month because there's so much to recognize with early childhood development. And our fundraiser is really about getting raising money and proceeds to help our programs, which help all early childhood development programs at Imua Family Services.
Well, I think one of the things that I again found on your website that in relation to the Fantasia Ball, and I'm just going to quote this directly from the website. It's a paragraph in a letter, and it says, "As parents of a child born prematurely, we were woefully unprepared and uncertain about our son's future. We had no experience and no idea where to turn for help. In a very short time after his birth, we were contacted by the angels at Imua, who were ready to become a part of our life, and more importantly, the life of our son. They were there with welcoming and comforting arms, assuring us that a bright future lay ahead. We simply do not know what we would have done without the help of these angels."
Mm-hmm. And this, I can say this because of obviously we have their permission. The story is public. This is from Keith and Lynn Araki Regan, who are our honorary chairs this year at Fantasia Ball. And as you know, Keith is the director of the county, and Lynn, well-known and respected individual in our county who does amazing work. And it just it indicates to us that, people who need the services of Imua can come from anywhere, any place in our community, under any financial or economic or educational background, that issues that affect children upon birth, whether it's being born prematurely or autism or, other issues, they're not prejudiced. They have no biases. They can impact any child in any group of family. And so many, many people have utilized the services of Imua Family Services in the past 66 years.
And it's just, it's incredible. It just kind of hits you when you see this, because no parent expects a child to be born with issues.
No, they don't. And in fact, what happens, from the time of conception and you realize that you're expecting, if this is something you're planning or looking forward to in your life, is that you automatically, naturally start to dream about the life of this child that you're going to have, what you'll do with them, the places that you'll go, what you'll show them, what you'll teach them that your parents taught you, or how you'll teach them differently than your parents taught you in some cases. But you start to create expectations for a child that are your own, not theirs. And the information, to get information and to receive that the child that has been born to you is not what you were expecting, is like experiencing death or loss in many times for a person. And, it's a lot that the family has to deal with. And that's what we do at Imua. We try and step in and support the entire family in the process, re-educating them to know what does the future mean for this child and for this family and for the care and support this child will need.
So now, in many cases, the children that you work with, the families that you work with, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You can help them.
Yeah, most of the time there definitely is. There are some situations where the progression may only reach a certain point, and that's okay too. And then everyone will learn, what that's going to be when we get there and how we deal with that. But many times children are, in those first 6 years, if we can get in there as early as possible, then they will go on to lead happy, healthy, and productive and normal lives. They just may learn differently from other children. They may have a different skill set than other children. They may start things a little bit slower or take a longer time to learn something than other children, but they can get there. But those first 6 years are definitely the most critical years of any child's life.
And so if there's an issue and it's not recognized and no help is sought, it can be a lifetime.
It can be a lifetime of dealing with the difficulties associated with that, and having to re-educate and relearn and re-educate the brain to do things differently. Much more difficult.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This I guess I'm just in awe of what you guys do.
I'm in awe of what our staff does every day as well. And I have to tell you, it's a very tender place to work. People's emotions are running high. Their expectations are all over the place. Our therapists are very concentrated on the children and the families, but concentrated in a way to just help a child reach very minimal milestones, one singular little itty-bitty step at a time. And with little babies, and toddlers that we serve, it is little bitty, itty-bitty steps at a time, But, like this morning I was in my office and I'm frantically working on our fundraiser event and all of the other things that are surrounding early childhood issues and votes from the Senate and the House that came through yesterday. And, it's easy to get caught up in that whirlwind of making sure that we will succeed and be here for tomorrow for all of these children. And a little 2.5-year-old toddler who was on his way to a therapy session literally just walked into the doors of my office, came up to me, pulled on my pants, and put his arms out and gave me the biggest good morning hug.
Oh, wow.
And kiss on the cheek. And this little boy is not speaking yet. He doesn't have that ability, and he's not communicating or able to make eye contact yet. And I say yet because we're working with him and we expect to see some progress. But just full of love and light and life. And you can just feel, the potential in this young man.
Wow. And that puts all that other stuff that you have to deal with.
It just makes it more important.
Yeah.
It makes it more important. It really does. And, a lot of organizations these days depend on fundraisers because, the funding streams are flowing more difficultly from other sources and things that we maybe used to rely on. And so events like Fantasia Ball, where Imua Family Services has a gala fundraiser, these are important to us because they keep our programs alive, and they bring in unrestricted funding that we can apply specifically to children in situations that we know where they're needed. And so in our community, we need to support as many of our nonprofit organizations and their fundraisers as possible. So we created a Fantasia Ball, which is a phantasmic opportunity to come and experience an amazing night out at the Grand Wailea.
And we're going to learn more about that right after this break.
Excellent.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
And thank you all for joining us again this Wednesday as we talk story with our Maui Nonprofit Executive Directors. Show's been on now for about, 3.5 years? At least, if not more. And from what we hear from the folks out there, it's getting more response and more recognition every week. And that's great to know, because our executive directors work so hard at putting teams together and their staff together to get out there and make Maui the best it can be. Mm-hmm. And I think here in talking with Dean a little bit about what his programs are, he's working with the youngest probably of all of the groups that our people work with. And we just were talking with Diane, and she's talking about the seniors. Mm-hmm. And in some respect, there's a similarity between the learning curves. And when we were talking about the internet mm-hmm. and the cell phones and things, with the seniors learning those things, mm-hmm. here's some kids that once they've been through your program and can get up to some speed, some level, in many cases they're going to be the average kid out there.
We hope so. That's the goal at Imua Family Services, and not just the average kid, but the above average
there
kid.
You go.
Maybe the difficulties that they're experiencing in the beginning, getting over their milestones, will be the things that create them to be stronger at heart and in character and in determination, because they've had to work harder to achieve certain things that come simply for other children. So
and that would continue in their lives, and so they will go that extra step, they'll go that extra mile, mm-hmm. whatever it takes to be more than successful in their lives.
Yeah, every child has an amazing potential within them that they're innately born with, and it's up to us as adults and their caregivers and the people who are responsible for them to help all children reach their full potential in life. And that's really all that we do at Imua Family Services. Parents call us with any number of concerns about their children. Some are serious concerns: fetal alcohol syndrome, Down syndrome, autism. So there are very prominent issues that we're dealing: deafness, blindness, things of that nature. And then there are just issues around children not reaching milestones, maybe when other children are reaching those milestones, walking, talking, things of that nature. And so we help the families help their children to reach those milestones.
It's incredible to me that you look at a group of people, and you know that a certain percentage are going to be really stars, and a certain percentage are not going to get there. Mm-hmm. A certain percentage not ever going to find their way. Mm-hmm. And yet here we are talking about some children that are going to have to really work hard. But that working hard in those first 6 years that you were talking about sets the standard for them.
Absolutely does. And it's not just the children that are working hard. It's the family, the parents, the people who are caring for that child. They have to work hard too, because they're the source for that child to learn from and to develop and grow from. So, a lot of times what we experience are children who come in who aren't, reaching milestones. They're not developing maybe in the time frame that they should be. And what we might learn is it's really that the family isn't giving the child the necessary input the child needs to develop. So, your pediatrician will tell you when you take a child for its regular checkups, are you reading to the child? Are you talking to the child? Are you, constantly they'll ask you that. And some people might take that for granted and say, well, of course one would be. But many times one is not, and families are not. People are busy, they're stressed, both parents are working, they're not at home. Sometimes it's other children taking care of younger children or aunties or grandmas, and they're busy cooking, and children are left to just play on their own or sat in front of a television or some other kind of electronic babysitter. Right. And then you might wonder why a child isn't developing. And it's because they're not getting the proper stimulation that their brains require to develop properly.
Right. and that's another similarity with the seniors.
Yes, definitely.
We prop them up in front of the TV and say, see you in a few hours.
Definitely. But, this is April is National Autism Awareness Month. And, sadly, there are some statistics that are also very poignant to know. Last year when we held Fantasia Ball, I was on stage and doing our fundraiser. And the fact was that it was about 1 in 83 children were currently being diagnosed in the United States with autism. And that number is as low as 1 in 54. This year. In 1 year, that is the difference in terms of what we know. So I don't know what to attribute that to. There's a lot of hypotheses out there. There's a lot of things we could speculate, but this is just the known fact in terms of what we're learning and understanding. And it's really the reason that our services at Imua Family Services are busting at the seams right now. It's largely related to things in this autism spectrum. But we are always at capacity, unfortunately. I hate to say that, but it's true.
So, is it possible that it's something as simple as being recognized earlier that could change those statistics?
That's definitely one of the possibilities, and that we're doing more work to help children in recognizing it earlier. We're making parents and families more acutely aware of what to look for, and everyone else is being more aware of it. So definitely there's an awareness around it. But which is an important awareness because, again, it is about recognizing that in that first 6 years so that we can start the earlier intervention work. But what's causing the predominance of it? That's the big question for sure.
Wow, that 1 in 54. Mm-hmm. Gee.
And we've been posting a lot of information on our website about that. If you're curious about that, Autism Speaks is one of the national organizations that puts out really valuable information and key signs to look for. And that information is available on our website and our blogs. We Twitter it, Facebook it, that sort of thing. So it's available for people to find through Imua Family Services.
Wow. Okay. Well, let's get back to the Fantasia Ball, which is part of how you're able to do all the things you do for all the families here.
Yes.
On the island. Now, during the course of a year, you are working with how many children?
Over the course of a year, a little under 3,000.
3,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
Through all of our programs, yeah.
Okay. So you need some pretty good-sized fundraisers.
We definitely need to do that, and of course we try a number of different ways. Sometimes you'll see us rattling a bell in front of Safeway or Walmart, and that's important. All those pennies and quarters and dollars add up, and they help programs like Camp Imua and things that's very important for us. But an event like this, we really rely on Fantasia Ball to raise some serious funds for specifically our early childhood development program and the children who are obtaining, our free services, who are age 3 to 6 who need developmental services. That's exclusively what we use the money from Fantasia Ball for. So we provide all children who come to us in need of services and families those services at no cost to the family and utilize these funds from this event. This event is created to be spectacular. It's everything that you would expect in a gala evening, from a cocktail reception to a fine dining dinner from the Grand Wailea in a beautiful ballroom with lots of couture fashion that is created by the Maui U of H fashion technology students, and their models are parading around. We have singers that are winners actually of our Maui Teens Got Talent challenge that Imua holds every month. And we have acrobats that will be performing over our main stage, followed by a ballet that is choreographed by David Ward at Seabury Hall. Then there's a dance and a floor where the ballroom opens up into a ballroom dance floor with Kelly Covington and Espresso as the band. And then it's followed by a huge after dark after party in another ballroom at the Grand Wailea that goes till 2 a.m. There are 3 DJs coming in from different places to play with that. A lot of video jockeys as well, and just a sensational evening all around.
So it sounds like people should get a room.
The
enjoy
Grand is very gracious, and they make really amazing rooms available to our event if you're a guest of Fantasia Ball for as low as $199. And if you've ever stayed at the Grand, you know that's an incredible opportunity.
Yes.
So yeah, many people do stay. You know, a lot don't, but many people do spend the night for sure.
Wow. I mean, this your second annual.
Yeah, second annual.
Prior to doing this, you did other things.
I think, yes, the organization did an event called Wine, Women, and Shoes. And actually, I was the host and auctioneer for those events, which is actually how I got my introduction to Imua Family Services and by fundraising for them. And but that event, as beautiful as it was maybe too exclusive for women. And as a family organization, we wanted to do an event that was for all the family to attend.
Interesting.
So we have great guests and great representatives from our state and county government who will be there as well to share and make proclamations on behalf of Imua Family Services. And we have some spectacular live auction items too. So the auction will really be a highlight of the evening.
So you have a silent auction as well as a live auction?
Correct.
Both. Okay.
We have both.
Wow. Now, how many people would you expect at an event like this?
About 350 this year.
Okay.
And can I just tell you about one of our live auction items? Because it's so spectacular. This is a very rare opportunity because the Roy Yamaguchi, who is Roy's Restaurants of Hawaii, holds the Roy's Golf Classic once a year in September. And this event is typically sold out to golf teams, and it's really hard to get into. But this year, we're going to auction off an opportunity for a team to participate in the Roy's Golf Classic. That's a team of 3 people, and they will be matched with a pro. So the 4th player on your team will be a golf pro. And so you get to play the round of golf at the Royal Kaanapali Golf Course with the Roy's Golf Classic Tournament, and which is one of the best tournaments in Hawaii for sure.
Right.
And then you get to participate at the exclusive tournament dinner featuring Roy Yamaguchi, this fantastic tournament meal and dinner. And then the prizes that go for those teams are insane. The golf pros attract amazing prizes. So the teams walk away with great prizes. If you're a good golfer and you can manage to get a hole-in-one in some of those par 3s, you could walk away with $1 million or $25,000 or a Rolex watch. So, I mean, this is the tournament of tournaments to participate in. And we seldom have an opportunity to invite a new team to this tournament. So this will be that opportunity.
So the auction at the Fantasia Ball is just the start of this great adventure for this team.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Wow.
So that's a good opportunity.
Yeah, he's been doing that golf tournament for many years.
16 years.
16.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew that was a big one. So I'm just kind of sitting here picturing all these things going on that as you talk.
Mm-hmm.
The fashion show, the ballet, the
aerial acrobats.
Acrobats. You got a 3-ring circus going on here.
That's the way I like it.
Yeah. I'll bet. Now, when an event like this is over, how do you come down from all this?
I start another one.
Ah, okay. And then you have others. You have other things that are going on every month.
All the time, yeah. An example, I mentioned we have a group of young people that will be singing throughout the evening. Christy Fell, Connor Snow, Mariah Lee, Ruby Riker, and Shayana Simmons. And if you recognize any of those names, you'll know that they're students aging and range from 10 to about 19. And these are young people that have won singing competitions at our monthly Maui Teens Got Talent. We do this every 3rd Saturday of the month in Kihei at the Stella Blues Cafe, and anyone can come out and hear that. We do it from 11 in the morning till about 2 in the afternoon, and young people just show up with their MP3 tracks ready to sing, and they blow us away. I mean, it's American Idol on crack. Like, it's just crazy talent. And these kids are phenomenal. And I mean, I never judge because I could never choose a winner. There's usually about 25 entries every time we do it from age 10 to about age 19. And these are kids that have some extreme talent. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Some kids write their own songs, some kids play their own instruments and sing, but they blow us away. So it's amazing. And so these young people that I mentioned, they're winners from those events. They're going to be singing at Fantasia Ball and having a chance to take it up to a bigger audience and a bigger ballroom. So it'll be a lot of fun.
So this is every month.
Every third Saturday of the month. The next one, this one in April, is coming up on Saturday, April the 20th at Stella Blues.
And you're talking about ages 11 to 19. And they can call Joy at 264-1275. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If they want to sing. It's
wanna
good to
sing.
know in advance how many people we have coming to sing, and she'll kind of give them any advice and feedback. And Vince Esquire, Maui musician, is one of our judges, and he's there. And he was so taken by one young lady who sang 2 months ago that he's offered to record her.
Oh, wow.
And do a demo CD for her. And Joel Katz, who was another judge at one of the events that we did, he's actually doing a demo record with one of the young people as well. So we really are finding some amazing talent in this, what is a small little community event, but it's really edifying our young people and our teenagers, which we at Imua really wanted to do because it's the teens who really come out to support Camp Imua every year and our volunteers. So this was a fun way to do something for our teens and get them involved, not only in Camp Imua, but in Imua Family Services.
So now is there an audience
yeah,
listening to this?
we pack the joint.
Fill the house?
Yeah, people just come out and they want to hear the competition and hear these young people sing. And, we last, in March when we did the event at Stella Blues, there wasn't a single seat available. People just packed the joint. And, and there's no dead space. It's one performer after the other.
Gee.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Now, can they come more than once?
Absolutely. If they want to keep coming back, the more they come back, the more experience they get singing in front of a crowd and feeling comfortable with it. Some young people make mistakes. They're just learning or they're nervous, and this is how they overcome that.
Gee, that's exciting.
It is exciting. I just love this event.
I can tell
Can
you're just beaming from it. So with the Fantasia Ball now is coming up on April 13th, which is next Saturday.
Correct.
6 p.m. to 2 a.m. if you take part in the after party.
And if you want to know about it and buy tickets, you can still do that throughout the rest of this week. It is just go to www.imuafantasiaball.org. All the information is right there, including where and how to purchase your tickets right there online, and about the hotel accommodations. Or you can just call our office at Imua Family Services at 244-7467, and we will help you.
Wow. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. There's
thank
so
you.
much for you to talk about, and there's so much for people to learn.
I
about
always have
what
so
you're
much
doing.
to say.
You do. Hey, we want to thank everybody out there who's listened to us today. The show is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the Builder's Choice. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by and take a look around their showroom in the Waikapu Bayshard. The Maui Nonprofit Directors Association's mission is to provide personal and professional support to nonprofit executive directors, their organizations, and the community of Maui. Today we visited with Diane from Rosalani Place and Dean from Imua Family Services, got an update on what their agencies are doing. We encourage everyone out there to get involved by giving, advocating, or volunteering for your favorite nonprofit. Do it today. What are you waiting for? And we'll be back here next week, same time, same place. Check us out. Listen to us. See who's going to be on the show. In the meantime, I'm Susie Tiemann, President of the Maui Nonprofit Directors and Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific. Hey, everybody, have a great week. We're looking forward to this week. How about you, Dean?
I am so looking forward to this week. Aloha.
Aloha, everyone. Have a good one.